Illinois Senator Stephen A. Douglas was an American politician and leader of the Democratic Party. Douglas was an influential party in the passing of the Compromise of 1850, which tried to maintain a congressional balance between free and slave states. In 1854, he constructed what arguably is the most significant single event leading to the Civil War. This is known as the Kansas-Nebraska Act. This act suppressed the Missouri Compromise of 1820, which outlawed slavery in the Nebraska Territory because it laid north of the required latitude of 36 degrees and 30-inch parallel. Douglas started this proposal because he wanted to see Nebraska made into an official territory in order to generate a transcontinental railroad. In order to make this dream a reality, the Illinois senator had to get the majority of Southerners' support and commitment, which meant proposing Kansas as a Southern slave state. Such a proposal reopened the issue of slavery by popular sovereignty in territories that had already finalized their decision, creating the animosity between the North and South to arise again. After the Kansas-Nebraska Act was passed, both pro-slavery supporters and abolitionists rushed to Kansas to settle there and to have an effect on its first election. During the election, pro-slavery settlers carried the election, but was accused of cheating by abolitionists, thus the election was not accepted. The anti-slavery settlers then held another election, however their contraries refused to vote, resulting in the establishment of two opposing legislators within the Kansas Territory and ultimately violence. John Brown was born in Torrington, Connecticut to a devout family with extreme anti-slavery views. He had married twice, fathered 20 children, and resided in states such as Ohio, Massachusetts, Pennsylvania, and New York. Brown had failed at several businesses and declared bankruptcy, but was still able to support the abolitionist cause by becoming a conductor on the Underground Railroad and establishing the League of Jailedites, an organization created to help runaway slaves escape to Canada. At the age of 55, John Brown moved with his sons to the Kansas Territory. In response to the sack of Lawrence, Kansas in 1856, Brown led a small band of men, which included his sons, to the Potawatomi Creek on May 24, 1856. He and his men dragged 5 unarmed pro-slavery men and boys out of their homes and brutally murdered them. Brown raided Missouri afterwards, freeing 11 slaves and killing the slave owner, initiating a series of raids throughout the country by fellow anti-slavery extremists. Brown continuously justified his actions and murders by proclaiming that he was only obeying God's will. His cause was favored by Northern extremists, thus becoming a hero to them and America's first terrorist to others. John Brown took a stand on history by involving himself in the War of Slavery. His violent acts were used to raise action in America and wake up those who settled for dehumanizing the slaves. Because he believed that there was no peace on this land until slavery was done for, he saw his murders as the only way to cleanse America from its crimes. On the morning of his execution, on December 2nd, 1859, Brown wrote, "I, John Brown, am now quite certain that the crimes of this guilty land will never be purged away but with blood. I had, as I now think, vainly flattered myself that without every much bloodshed it might be done."